Hello friend, here we are for the discussion impact of jet experiment. We are going to discuss two different cases. The first one, impact of jet on the flat plate, and the second one, impact of jet on the curved plate. We will go one by one. As we already discussed in the theory, that force exerted by this whatever it is, jet of water on the object which is placed in the stream of this particular fluid is given by the momentum principle, which is given by force exerted by the jet of water is equal to rate of change of momentum in the same direction in which direction my force is acting. So if my this fluid jet is horizontal, in that case whatever the force which is acting in x direction is given by the rate of change of momentum in that same direction. Now we know that this rate of change of momentum is nothing but initial momentum minus final momentum divided by time. That is what we are getting rate. Change in momentum is given by initial minus final, and rate is given by the division of the time. We can simply write it as we know that momentum is given by mass into velocity. So if we take this, what we will get here? This will become m1 v1 minus m2 v2, and then we can simply divide it with time. So I can simply take this m1 and m2 because we know that mass always constant. So I can simply take it as mass upon time at one side, and then bracket initial velocity minus final velocity. So mass per second is nothing but the mass flow rate. What we can write down for the mass flow rate? Density multiplied by discharge. So what I am writing here, rho a v in bracket, initial velocity is v and final velocity is 0. That's what we have discussed in the theory lecture. What equation we are getting for the force here? Rho a v square, where this a is the area of flow. That means that it will become area of this particular jet of water. This v will become velocity of this jet of water. Again, this v is also velocity of this jet of water, and as we have taken here 0 because after the striking, whatever our velocity of jet has become 0 in direction of in which my jet is striking. So whatever my velocity component in horizontal direction after striking is 0. And this is what equation we are getting here. Once we got this equation, if we move towards the assumptions, what assumptions we have made in the impact of jet theory, if we look at those assumptions, whatever this theoretical force we are getting from this equation, it will always be greater than the actual force which is acting on this particular plate due to this stream of the jet of the fluid. So if we want to calculate actual force, and once we get that actual force, we can simply calculate coefficient of impact, which is given by F actual upon F theoretical. This CI, so we are interested to calculate this CI. Remember that this actual force will always be less than this theoretical force. That means that my CI will always be less than 1. But where this actual force will be measured and this theoretical force will be calculated by using this equation. Now why this actual force will be less than theoretical force? Because when we have made this derivation, we have assumed that first, this plate is smooth. Second, there is no loss which is going to take place during the impact. But actually there are some losses which is going to take place due to the impact. And second thing, there is no material which will be perfectly smooth. So again, due to those two losses, our actual force will always be less than 1. Previously, we need to calculate theoretical force, and then we are going to measure actual force which is exerted by the jet, and once we get those two forces, we can simply calculate coefficient of impact. So the first thing, we will find out what is the theoretical force. Before that, let's see what is the arrangement on our impact of jet apparatus. So here my storage tank. From the storage tank, just top of the storage tank, I have provided a small pipe, and at the end of that pipe, the nozzle is provided having a diameter 10 mm, and exactly in the front of my nozzle, object has been provided on which I am going to calculate force exerted by this jet of fluid, which is going to come out from this nozzle and going to strike on this plate. Once when it is going to strike on the plate, of course it is going to get deflected, and as we are assuming this plate is smooth, we can simply calculate theoretical force by taking diameter of this nozzle or diameter of this jet, whatever coming out from this nozzle, and by measuring the velocity. For the measurement of velocity, we are going to measure a discharge which is coming out from this nozzle, and that discharge will be measured by using this rotameter. So here the rotameter is given, and if you see here, measuring unit is mentioned on the rotameter is liter per minute. So whatever the reading we will get when we allow to flow that water through this rotameter, at that time this knob will be pushed in upward direction. Now of course you will be already knowing that how the rotameter works. So we simply going to note down the reading of discharge. Once we get the reading, we are going to divide it with the area of the jet of the water, and once we derive that discharge with the area, we will get the velocity. Once we get velocity, we are going to calculate force, theoretical force. Now the second important term, we need to calculate our coefficient of impact, that is actual weight. Now that actual weight will be measured by using this weight balancing apparatus. Now we see here, this Falcom has been provided at the top, this weight balancing machine. When my jet of fluid going to strike on this plate, at that time this plate will be displaced from its original position, and when it is going to push from its original position, whatever the force exerted by this jet on that plate will be recorded here. And if you see the arrangement of this particular weighing balance machine, here the fulcrum has been provided. At the end of fulcrum, weight balancing screw has been provided. So at the initial stage, we need to set this value on this particular weight balancing machine as a 0, and whenever my jet of water striking on the plate, at that time that weight force will be recorded here. So initially we have set this weight balancing machine to the 0, and we are going to start the pump. So jet will be generated from this nozzle. So I am just simply going to close this door to avoid the splashes which may come out when jet of water going to strike on that plate, and we are simply going to start the pump now. So when we are going to start this pump, just note this, just see carefully how this reading is going to change. So I am simply going to push the button, on button, and just record it here, how that reading is going to change. You see here, I just started the pump and flow has been installed, and now you can see whatever the force which has been exerted by the jet of water on the plate has been recorded here. Now you can see here whatever my jet of water coming out from the nozzle. Hope you are able to see it. When it is striking on the plate, after striking it is getting deflected in the exactly by 90 degree. Now we need to record two things. First one, theoretical force, second one, actual force. So simply we are going to take the reading of actual force from here. Now the second one, we need to calculate velocity while calculating theoretical force. That velocity we are going to measure by using this rotameter. So by simply changing the knob or this bypass valve, whatever the flow will coming out from this rotameter is going to come out from that nozzle as well. So if you see here, whatever my reading of the discharge, that can be noted down. In our case, you can read here, it is almost 15 liter per minute. Once you note down this reading, you can simply calculate velocity by dividing area of the jet. This is what our total experiment. All other calculation you can carry out. So what we have recorded, we have measured Q. By using this Q, you can simply calculate velocity, which is given by Q upon A, where this A is the area of jet, and this Q, what we have measured by using rotameter. Once we calculate this V, we can simply calculate our theoretical force, which is given by the equation density multiplied by area of jet multiplied by velocity of the jet, what we have calculated here. Once we calculate this F theoretical, what we need next, F actual, that we have already measured by using weight balancing machine, F actual in terms of gram, then you are simply going to multiply it with 9.81. It was measured in gram, so we are going to simply multiply it with the 9.81. Here you will get F actual, then you can simply calculate coefficient of impact. This is what our calculations. Similarly, we can do the same procedure for the curve plate. Just the difference is that our formula would be different. That is given by rho A V square multiplied by 1 plus cos of theta, because in case of curve plate, whatever our velocity after striking getting deflected by at an angle theta, so we are going to resolve it into two components. One is horizontal and another is vertical. So here minus minus would get plus, because here it will become V cos of theta. And when we are going to take it as after It will become minus v cos of theta because it is moving in opposite direction of motion. If we are considering semicircular plate, in that case, this jet is going to deflected back, something like this. So it is simply going to deflected back like this, and here there will be no resolving component, there will be no theta. So in this case, my theta will become 0, and if I put theta is equal to 0 here, this equation will become f of theoretical is equal to 2 rho a v square. So what we can say that this will be as twice as what the force we have calculated in case of flat plate. Then we are going to use the same procedure, and again we are not going to perform the same practical again, but I am going to show you the semicircular plate here. So my jet of water coming and striking at the center of the plate. This is semicircular plate, and my jet of water going to strike at the center of the plate, and it is exactly going to deflect back by 180 degree. So if it will be placed something like this, and my jet of water striking like this, and it is going to deflected back in opposite direction. So in that case, we are going to use the same equation. Even you can go for the inclined plate as well. So here is the model of the inclined plate. It will be placed something like this, inclined direction. When my jet of water is coming, it will be get deflected in those two directions. And you already know the theoretical equation for the force calculation for the inclined plate as well as semicircular or curved plate. So this is what our experiment. Thank you.